Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's been a little while since an update on the home theater project, and it's finally coming together starting today in just a couple hours. After weeks of delay, the last of the seats are being delivered. So can't wait. Got the butt kickers installed in both of them. Got those wired up. The way you do these depends on how many you're doing and what amp, how you exactly wire them. 4 is a great combination number. They're 4 ohm each, which just about any amp is going to power 4 ohms. And I've got them wired in series parallel. This is the speak-on coming out of the amp. And then I've got each one of the wires splitting, so a positive and a negative to each seat. It'll go in one, that loops to the other, and then out the other. So these sum, and then the two groups come together, and then they counter it. So all 4 show the amp as a 4 ohm load, just like you were driving a single butt kicker. And I've got it powering about 350 watts per butt kicker, which is more than enough. I've never had them overheat, so they can take it no problem. Okay, so let's talk lighting. These seats and many other models like them have these LED strips, and they're just stuck on the front of the frame. So when you put the footrest up or recline the seat, the light shines forward, and a lot of people don't like that it shines up in your room. These particular ones come on with the cup holder lights, which I like, and I would leave those on maybe all the time, or at least most of the time, or at least during a movie, because you don't see them. They don't bother anybody. But these lights I definitely don't want on during a movie. So luckily, this is just beautifully designed system. You just open up this compartment here. Now, I've had sets where the wiring is completely proprietary, completely sealed in. You have nothing, you have no access like this to the switches or the actual wire runs or anything. But this is all totally modular. I mean, just like their seats are modular, they've got standalone, they've got left, they've got right, they've got dual, they've got angled. You can make whatever combo you like. So all the wiring has to be easy access and easy to manufacture. And you've got standard connections. I mean, just standard low voltage connections. So boom, if you don't want your lights on, all you have to do is disconnect it, zip it back up, and you're done. Now your cup holders work and you're not bothered by this light. Now, if you don't even want this here, say if you don't want it showing, and I don't particularly love the look of the light strip down there, especially if it's not on, but it's gonna bother some people more than others. All you do is snip these zip ties and pull it out. And then you got your strip, and there's nothing special about the LED strip. You got your standard connector on the other end. It's just a trimmable one color LED strip, same as you've been able to buy at Walmart or from Amazon or wherever for years. It does have adhesive on the back, but it doesn't stick worth a crap. That's why they use zip ties instead. And you can see that even from the factory, it's drooping down. So that may be another reason why you don't want it showing. Now, alternatively, you could stick it or zip tie it to the bottom of the frame, and that way the lights are not shining directly forward into the room, but you still get a glow underneath the seats. So check that out, try that out, and see if that appeals to you as well. Yeah, super easy to do. Now I'm gonna take it a step forward because I don't want just a single on or off light, let alone tied to the cup holders, let alone not tied into my smart home or remote controls or voice controls or anything like that. We're gonna be putting in our own. So my goal with lighting is multi-point. I decided I want to do just one unit. I don't want individual seat control, although you can do that. I just want to control everything as a group. So what I want is one basically uninterrupted light going all the way around it, and I want to look like the seats are kind of floating. I'm probably going to use white light instead of colored. It's not going to be on all the time, of course, but I just want it to look really cool, and I think it's going to work with the white carpet. So all we need is a long enough light strip. I do need it internet capable. It needs to connect to my Echoes. It needs to be able to be programmed into voice commands and routines and all that. And I want it controlled by my Harmony remote, because I like button remote controls for lighting and things that I use when I'm seated in the seat. So I can use one button, go to any source, everything sets the house lighting, and all of that. I can control the fan just from sitting in my seat without saying a word, just by touching buttons on the remote. And I want the seat lights to do the same. And I've done it. So there are multiple ways to do it. The easiest way And the very expensive way is using Philips Hue. Now, if you don't want to do any programming, if you have just no interest in it whatsoever, and you don't mind spending about $300, just get yourself a Philips Hue kit, enough light strips to cover what you need, and it simply works. You plug it in, you link your account, you have full control through the Harmony remote, full control through your home automation and voice commands and all that, and you're done. But if you want to do it for, say, $10 for the almost exact same thing, you get yourself an LED light kit. Now, there are many brands of these, and they're all a little different. I'm going to show you a couple examples here, and I'm not kidding when I say they're 10 bucks. If you look on Amazon for sales, they're just crazy deals. This one I did not get on sale, and it was $18. This is from Govee, and I use a lot of these Govee strips primarily for the app. Now, every different brand that you get is going to have its own app, and the app is just there to tie into your, Google or Apple or Alexa account or anything like that. So it doesn't really matter what brand you get as far as overall functionality, but they do all have their little quirks. Now, the Govee app is simply fantastic. You can do anything you want in it, and it has full control back again through the other devices. Now, the minor differences between the different brands, you may not know until you get them. For example, if you like them where the lights pop on, you may like some brands better than others. This one over here, this one I got for a steal. I picked these up just because I don't even have a use for them. I got these. These are insanely long, as you can see. This whole kit was $11. So, it really depends on the day what kind of sale you're going to get. But this brand fades up and down. This is Gosung. Seriously, there's like 20 different brands. They're almost all the same hardware itself. These are the controller boxes, and these are what tie it back into your home control. You don't need to touch them. They just sit there and they interface with your Wi-Fi. You can control things like the power and the brightness and all that from it, but you don't need to. So this is just going to sit on the floor behind the seats. This one offers 2 chains. So you have 2 rolls, 2 spools of lights. About the only limitation with this kind versus Philips Hue is you're limited to about 16 feet per strip of light. You can cut them, you can make them shorter, but you can't extend them. With the Philips Hue, you can buy more and keep extending them to a much longer size. But this size is about $100 from Philips Hue, and it's just the same technology. So this one here, when it comes on, I'll show you in a second, this fades the lights on and off. And these instantly come on and off. Other than that, the only major difference is this one will react to sound and music. So it'll, dance the lights like disco kind of to the beat. And this has a built-in microphone. Whereas if you want this one to do it, you have to have your phone open, and using the phone microphone through the app, it'll dance to the music. So pretty useless. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. But I'll plug these in so you can see the differences. So here's both sets. I have them both in my smart home and both assigned to a group name. Now the cool thing is with the Govee, you can assign all the different modes and scenes that the actual hardware supports inside your smart home routine. So you can set up music mode, or you can set up a color or brightness or anything without ever touching the app. Whereas the other brands, all you get are the basic commands on, off, and brightness. And you can put that into routines, but you can't switch between any modes. So if that's important to you, definitely stick with the Govee. Alexa, turn on the seats. So you can see that these fade on a little bit. They are a little bit brighter. The LEDs look like they're spaced about the same, but you can see there's definitely a brightness difference. Now, I will say that that's on camera. In real life, it makes absolutely no difference. They appear identical, especially when you install them on the seats. And don't forget, you can save $100 by using my link and code down below if you want to get some. What do we have here? Oh yeah. Halfway there. Hello freaking Luya. We are installed. Whew. The wife said, okay, it's really weird having this many seats in here. It's like a movie theater. Well, that's kind of the point. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and install the LED lights, and we'll get this wrapped up for the night. Okay, let's check out the lighting here. So I've got strips, or one strip, all the way across. Ran it where I wanted. I liked it facing forward, tested it both down and forward, and it just throws a more pleasant light out forward. So that's fine. It's not like I'm looking at it anyway with the seats reclined. And I'm also not going to have them on when the seats are reclined watching a movie. So no big deal. I just use the self-adhesive. The Govee strips come with really good adhesive, unlike some of the others, like that come stock, that don't stick at all. Got the controller behind this seat here plugged in. It's tied into my smart home. I can do voice commands. I can use the app on an iPad, iPhone, or Android. I have full touch control there. Or I have control through my Harmony. Now, this is not plug and play. It does take a little bit of programming, but you can do it. Now, the difference between doing it this way and the Philips Hue is plug and play. There's no programming, and you can also change the brightness and color directly from the remote. This, you can turn it on or off, or you can run any routine. So you can pre-program any different color, brightness, scenes, animations, whatever you want. You can do that and you can trigger it, but you can't on the fly use the remote control to change the brightness or the color. I'm never going to anyway. I'm going to keep it on white. Actually, it looks kind of blue on the phone here. I think it's just the way it's picking up those LEDs, but it is a nice pure white in real life. It's probably just the color balance hitting. Yeah, it seriously looks light blue on the phone. Let me change it just so it looks like what it looks like in real life. Hang on. All right, so that is what it looks like to me. It's just because the camera is trying to white balance for the normal LED bulbs up there and that spotlight, and that's a much warmer white than the daylight I have these set to. So to my eyes, these are actually yellow right now. Let me turn off the lights and I'll reset it. Lights off. And switch them back. Now we should see, yeah, see? Now it looks pure white. Beautiful. Love it. So let's put one up and see what happens. There you can see how I ran it. And it does spill to the front of the room, same as the stock did, but it's white now instead of blue. So that may not bother some people, but like I said, I'm just gonna turn them off when I watch a movie. Easy peasy. So there you go. That's stage 2 done. Tomorrow, like I said, big subs going in. I'm not going to put the room back together tonight because we got more work to do, but that is looking pretty darn good to me. Now I can have people over again to watch movies. See you next time, guys.